or someone would ask me the other day, she's like, what are you going to do when you actually find someone really similar to you? Would you get along? I was like, gosh, no, no way. Okay, everybody. So, Leroy, I got a shower thought for you. You've just started a new job at a totally new company. Obviously, it's a very stressful time. Chopping and changing these things over. There's a new routine, potentially new work hours, new work teammates too. How have you been able to ease into a new pattern for this new job?
Yeah, so this one's very close to home. Just started a new job 3 weeks ago, and definitely I don't care what people say. Starting a new job, even if it's in the same field, it is. I think it's quite tough. Like because you're thrust in a whole different social situation, different tasks, different atmosphere, and like you have to sort of survive.
Yeah.
And for me, like the first week was good, but tough. Like in the sense that I was just learning so much because I've changed complete industries, so my brain was just getting destroyed with so much information. It was so. It was almost like I can't even compare to anything. Like just back in high school, just cramming for an exam.
Yeah.
Just so much new information, and then I was starting to retain things. But and then I had like the added bonus of having family over, and my little 1-year-old cousin like this big, and
this is Dancing Baby.
Yeah, a little Dancing Baby. If anyone saw that story, but yeah, so like it compounded to this time of new job, new stress, mind just getting like drained, and then coming home and like not really getting good sleep, and having family there, so like late nights, and like I felt so overwhelmed.
And running a half marathon every Saturday morning.
yeah, that too. Really put it out there for myself.
Yeah.
But so I think like we were going to run on Saturday, and I was like, dude, I don't think I can physically wake up at fucking 4 or 5 a.m. Like, I need to sleep. And even then, I didn't really sleep that much. But, that weekend, I was like, shit, whoa, this is, this is like, wow, this week has been huge. And sort of put things into plan. I know for me and for you, like, we've discussed this many times, like, having a routine helps me keep control of things, because like at that first week, I just felt like I was very reactive instead of proactive, and I'm someone who prefers to be proactive, because reactive just does not work well for me. And so I put in like set time to go to the gym, do training, and just that alone, getting that physical exercise sort of helped alleviate like a bit of the stresses I was feeling. And then with work, I sort of set myself a schedule in terms of, all right, so my day looks like this, so I need to get here on time, and I take a break here, and then I set myself like writing out checklists of like what I'm learning, what I've learned, and just doing stuff like that instead of just being, at work, just being like, oh, wow, this is intense, like, wow, let's just keep writing it. I sort of, I was like, yeah, this is intense, but I better start like documenting stuff, like making notes, just because it makes it easier in the long run. And I feel like, work is meant to finish when work finishes, but especially at that beginning time, I think you kind of need to put in the extra yards, because it just makes life so much easier. Like now I'm in week 3, I'm sort of really, I wouldn't say I'm a professional, but like I'm compared to day 1, week 1, like it's a whole big difference in terms of like my confidence, my time management, my feeling reactive instead of proactive. Other way around, feeling proactive instead of reactive.
Yeah.
Like I still feel quite a bit reactive, but definitely
It sounds like there are a few little things in there that help it kind of keep you constant in a quite changing environment. Like all the exercising stuff, as as tricky as some of the running stuff can be, you still had to do the same training.
Yeah.
Each week. And I think same thing, like writing the stuff down as you learnt it, same thing. Keep writing it down. It was like a constant thing you kind of had to keep on doing, so you kind of keep a little mental note of it all.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's an awesome way of having to actually let the brain kind of settle in, but not be too overwhelmed all at once. Don't change everything in one go.
Yeah, exactly. And like also because it's like a 30 minute 40 drive. So like in my drive to work, I actually like started like listening to some like calming sort of thing, some stoic sort of shit, some videos, and like that was nice. And just using that time for like the drive to either sort of expand my knowledge in digital marketing. So like listen maybe to digital marketing podcasts, and like I was starting to like understand like things I'd heard at work. I go, oh okay, like so they're talking about this and that, and like I think a lot of people might find that like the last thing they want to do on their drive home is listen to what they're working on. But like for me, that was like kind of like almost like the same way as writing the notes. Like I was just sort of cementing this knowledge and listening to this sort of this podcast, listening to these guys speak, and I was like starting to like have a bit more backing myself because I kind of knew what they were talking about.
It was almost like you were like saturating your brain with even more of the information.
Yeah.
Just so it always like I feel like that would, if I was starting a new job in like a different physio role, I think I would do the same thing. I would just flood myself with all the the evidence and the research and like podcasts and like other listening materials for that thing. So that's all I'm thinking about, and it would kind of help me swap over into the next gear.
Yeah, exactly. And probably the most important thing, the thing that I lacked that first week was sleep. I was so like, that second week I was like, alright, I am sleeping 8 hours at least a day, and I'm drinking water properly. And that alone, I think, really, really changed.
Sleep, it impacts so much.
Oh, it's crazy.
And it's one of those things again, like once you're kind of settled and comfortable, I find it so much easier to keep my sleeping pattern like constant. We keep saying this word constant. But like as soon as that changes though, all of a sudden you're like, I'm up at night, like trying to learn more things.
Yeah.
Like I'm up earlier again, like trying to really cram in my exercising because I know that's what I'll do to kind of keep things steady.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden your sleeping gets thrown out of whack, and then it's another thing you're trying to figure out how you're gonna get your hours in around there. Man, I've started committing to the sleeps in the car at lunchtime. I'll just go for like the quick little 5-minute walk to the car. Like I'll take my book and like have a nice read, and then all of a sudden I'm in the, I'm nestled up in the corner, and I'll set my alarm for 20 minutes. It's a dangerous thing to fall into.
Yeah, I had that one at work. Yeah, sleeping. But yeah, I think those things really just made a difference. For me, it was just having that constant routine. We've said it so many times, but just that routine, like just kind of knowing kind of where you need to be and what you need to do. Not like having everything set up by the hour, but just having your like things that de-stress you, things that you enjoy, and having those like, and knowing that you can hit them all was the biggest thing for me. That and sleep has just made a big difference in terms of how I'm feeling now and like building that routine.
I think another thing too, like what I've kind of noticed along the way, was like other things that you love doing. Like for example, we love making podcasts, and we love doing all these little extra little things. Like other people love going out and surfing, investing, bike riding. I don't know what people do. They love watching movies, TV, etc., etc. Other things that they're passionate about, essentially.
Yeah.
Like when things are changing over, like sometimes I think people find it really hard to keep up with those things that they love doing.
Oh, definitely.
Like and all of a sudden, like that kind of part of your soul just kind of almost gets like neglected for a little bit. But then I think it's almost important to understand that that's going to happen too. Like that, even though like you love doing that thing, like oh shit, I haven't been out, surfing, running, training anywhere near as much as I would normally do. Like your exercise patterns drop off.
Yeah.
I think you got to appreciate that's okay. Like I have so much else going on at the moment, and like it was just good that we were able to kind of take a step back a little bit and keep things just like a little bit easier, offload a few things, and then be able to kind of not stop it altogether, but just let your priorities become, figuring out something else. You can always, it's so easy to pick it back up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so easy to get annoyed at yourself when you're not doing this thing that you've committed to as hard as you've done before, but you've got something else that's taking up all your brain power.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I reckon that was definitely me, especially when it came to like training. Like before that, I was going to the gym, doing running properly, and then just that first week it was just like, I don't even think I did anything. Hey, I think I just got home, drained, got home late, drained. Baby was crying, or baby like wanted to play, so like of course like you can't deny the baby. Yeah. So played, and then like hung out with my cousins till like 11. And then I was sharing my bed with my cousin, and like and then like waking up again because I was waking up early. Just didn't really know, because the route, like I was still figuring out the route, like the best route to get there, and it was all just, I was just like angry at myself, like I haven't been able to train. Yeah. But meanwhile, like my brain is getting absolutely smashed every day. Like I have nothing left. Yeah. And but it's like there's that period. Like I don't care who you are, but like when you start a new job, there is that sort of like you have that sort of period where you need to adjust. Like where everything goes crazy.
Yeah. And appreciate it's going to be hard. I think you underestimate like how much of a toll it can be on number one on your brain, but also on your body. Like stress plays a huge role in like injuries and like presentation of symptoms in the physio world. Like it's really interesting. Yeah. But like it's that type of stuff where if you try and keep flogging yourself with your exercising, almost like bullying yourself, even though your body and mind is just fatigued like no tomorrow because it's figuring out this crazy new thing. It's a little bit of a recipe for disaster sometimes. Yeah, that's funny, because that first week was when we did the 26K and that had to be the hardest run of my goddamn life. Oh my god. But yeah, it's funny how then the next week 27 was just like, man, that was great. Yeah, it's easy. Like it just shows you how big of an impact like stress and like the external world has on, if you take it on a run, like you're gonna feel it. Yeah. Like I think moral of the story is when you start a new job, it's tough, but there's things you can do to reduce that. Like like for me it was as I said, taking those notes, put in a bit of extra work. I didn't do much extra work in the first week because I was just fucking flooded. But like the second week, putting in a bit of work, and like listening, driving early, just like catching some sun, looking at the beach, looking at the water, getting some fresh air. It's really nice. I think like the big main takeaway for me is appreciate it's going to be hard and be kind to yourself. If you start becoming your own worst enemy and start beating yourself up for skipping out on a few things that you would normally do, you're comparing like two totally different time frames. Yeah. Like you can't judge it just because I feel like little face value things are changing. You can't understand the whole context of it too. Yeah, well said. Well, that was a good answer. Yeah, good little wrap up there. Yeah, luckily it was just very relevant in my mind. Yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we'll catch you soon.